be like Mark, spreading joy and connection, but also remember Sarah's lesson in self-care and boundary setting. This way, our kindness can truly be a force for good, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. This explanation breaks down the concept of kindness, illustrating its complexities through relatable stories, and emphasizing the importance of balance and self-awareness. By using simple language and concrete examples, it aims to make the idea accessible and actionable for everyone. Imagine you're the kind of person who can't say no. You're always there for everyone, giving your time, energy, and resources without a second thought. This might sound like a great way to be, right? After all, being kind is good, but let's take a closer look at what happens when you're too kind. When you always put others first, sometimes at your own expense. Think about Emily, who works in an office. She's known as the go-to person for when you need help because she never turns anyone down. Her desk is a revolving door of coworkers seeking assistance, and her inbox is always full of requests. Emily feels proud to be so dependable, but over time, she starts to notice that her own work is piling up. She's staying late every night, skipping lunch breaks, and her stress levels are through the roof. Despite all her hard work, she's passed over for a promotion, because according to her boss, she's not focused enough on her primary responsibilities. We're consider Jake, a generous friend who always picks up the tab at dinners, who offers to drive and lends money without hesitation. His friends love his generosity, but they've also started to expect it. Jake begins to feel like they only reach out when they need something, and his savings are dwindling because he's too nice to ask for any of it back. What Emily and Jake are experiencing is the downside of excessive kindness. They're examples of how being overly generous can lead to feeling used, experiencing burnout, and even stunning personal professional growth. It's a tough spot to be in, feeling the weight of others' expectations, and your own reluctance to disappoint anyone. Now, you might be wondering, how does one navigate this tricky balance? How do you remain kind without compromising your well-being or your responsibilities? The first step is recognizing the signs of excessive kindness. Feeling constantly drained, resenting the time you give to others, or noticing that your kindness is affecting your personal goals. Once you see these signs, it's time to start setting boundaries. It's not about becoming less kind, but about being kind in a way that's sustainable and healthy for you. This means learning to say no when you need to, being clear about your limits, and understanding that it's okay to prioritize your needs too. It's a kind of self-kindness, treating yourself with the same care and consideration you offer others. Finding this balance isn't easy. It doesn't happen overnight. It might start with small steps, like turning down a request when you're already overcommitted or allocating specific times for helping others so it doesn't encroach on your personal time. The key is consistency and communication. Be honest with yourself about what you can and can't do, and be honest with others. Most people will understand and respect your boundaries once they're aware of them. Remember, being kind doesn't mean you have to be at everyone's beck and call. True kindness, the kind that's sustainable and genuine, comes from a place of balance. It respects both the giver and the receiver. By finding this balance, you can continue to spread kindness without losing yourself in the process. Let's imagine you're holding a cup of water, and around you, everyone's plants need watering. You start pouring out your water to help them grow, feeling good as you see the plants perk up. But soon, your cup is empty, and your own plant hasn't had a drop. You're left feeling drained, and your plant is wilting. This is what happens when we give all our kindness away without setting boundaries or taking care of ourselves. Now, why are boundaries so important? Think of them as the rules that help you decide how much water you can share without letting your own plant suffer. They're not about being selfish or uncaring. Quite the opposite, actually. By ensuring you don't run dry, you can continue to help others over a longer period, not just in a burst of generosity that leaves you exhausted. So how do you set these boundaries? It's simpler than you might think, but it does take practice. Start by listening to your feelings. If you're feeling stressed or resentful when someone asks for help, that's a sign you might need to say no this time. It's okay to tell people, I wish I could help, but I really need to focus on my own tasks today, or I'm not available right now, but I can help you another time. Most people will understand. After all, everyone has their own cup to keep an eye on. Another practical step is learning to prioritize. Ask yourself, is this something only I can do? Or could someone else step in this time? Often, we take on tasks that could easily be shared because we want to be seen as help. Sharing the load not only eases your burden, but also empowers others to contribute. And what about self-care? It's often mistaken for a luxury or a reward, something you earn by being endlessly giving. But self-care is actually a basic necessity like air and water. It's the act of refilling your cup so you can continue to help others without running dry. Self-care looks different for everyone. For some, it's a quiet walk in the park. For others, it's reading a book, meditating, or spending time on a hobby. The key is to find activities that rejuvenate you, not just things that fill up your time. Because taking care of yourself is the ultimate act of kindness. It allows you to be the best version of yourself, not just for you, but for everyone around you. When you're well-rested, fulfilled, and happy, you're more capable of genuine kindness that doesn't come with strings attached or a sense of obligation. You're kind because you want to be, not because you feel you have to be. In a world that often praises self-sacrifice, setting boundaries and practicing self-care can feel like swimming against the tide. But remember, even the most caring person can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of yourself, you're not only ensuring your own well-being, but also setting a positive example for others. It's a way of showing that true kindness includes being kind to yourself, allowing you to give freely and joyfully to others without losing yourself in the process. Imagine you're a leader, much like Thomas. Thomas was someone everyone looked up to, not just because he was good at making decisions, but because he did it with kindness. However, Thomas's kindness wasn't just about being nice all the time. It was about kindness with a backbone. This means Thomas knew when to say yes, but importantly, he also knew when to say no. Thomas once faced a tough decision in his company. A project wasn't going well, and everyone was looking to him for what to do next. The easy thing would have been to let it continue, to avoid upsetting anyone. So Thomas chose the kind route, which wasn't the easiest. He decided to stop the project. He explained his decision openly, making sure everyone understood why it was necessary. He listened to his team's concerns and frustrations, acknowledging their hard work, even as he made a call that not everyone liked. This is what we mean by kindness with a backbone. Thomas's decision was tough, but it was made with care and respect for everyone involved. Making tough decisions like Thomas doesn't come naturally to everyone, but it's a skill that can be developed. The first step is always to be clear about your values. What's most important to you and your team? Once you know this, making decisions becomes a matter of staying true to those values, even when it's hard. But being a kind leader isn't just about the decisions you make. It's also about how you communicate them. Openness and honesty are crucial. This doesn't mean being blunt to the point of cruelty. Instead, it's about being honest in a way that shows you care about how your decisions affect others. It's also about listening. When you make a tough call, give people the space to voice their opinions and feelings about it. This doesn't mean you have to change your decision, but it helps everyone feel heard and respected, which is a form of kindness too. This act of kindness in leadership also involves dialogue, which means having ongoing conversations, not just giving orders from above. It's about creating an environment where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas and concerns, knowing they'll be taken seriously. Thomas, for example, regularly asked for feedback and made it clear that all voices were valued, whether they agreed with him or not. This approach not only helps to make better decisions, but also strengthens the team's bond, as everyone feels they are a meaningful part of the process. In Thomas's story, we see that kindness in leadership isn't about avoiding tough decisions or trying to be everyone's friend. It's about leading with integrity, making decisions that are best for the team and the project, even when they're difficult. It's about being clear and open in your communication, listening to others and respecting their input. Most importantly, it's about remembering that your decisions impact real people and treating those people with care and respect, no matter how to the decisions you have to make. As we've journeyed together through the stories and insight shared today, we've uncovered the many layers of kindness. We've seen how kindness is not just a simple act of being nice, but a complex trait that, when balanced with wisdom, can truly change the world around us. We've learned from Mark and Sarah's experiences how kindness can both connect and uplift communities, but also how it can become overwhelming if we forget to set boundaries for ourselves. Kindness, as we've discovered, wears many faces. It's in the gentle words of encouragement, the tough love that nudges us toward growth, and the silent acts of service that often go unnoticed. But beneath these acts lies a common thread: the intention to do good, to make a positive impact on another's life. Yet this intention, noble as it may be, must be tempered with self-awareness and care for oneself. We've seen how vital it is to maintain boundaries, ensuring that our well of kindness does not run dry from overuse. Self-care emerged as an essential theme, not as an act of selfishness, but as a necessary form of kindness towards oneself. This self-kindness allows us to recharge, to fill our cup so that we can continue to pour into the lives of others without depleting our own reserve. It's a reminder that we too deserve the kindness we so freely give to others. Moreover, the story of Thomas taught us that kindness in leadership, is not about shying away from tough decisions. It's about facing them head on with integrity and compassion, understanding that true kindness sometimes means doing what's hard. It's about listening, really listening. To those we lead, engaging in open dialogues that foster trust and respect, even amidst disagreement. We find ourselves at this moment of pause and possibility. It's a great time to take a deep breath and look inside ourselves. Let's think about how we show kindness in our everyday lives. Kindness isn't just about doing nice things for others. It's also about how we treat ourselves. Like trying to fill someone else's cup when ours is empty. It just doesn't work. So let's ask ourselves, are we balancing our kindness to others with kindness to ourselves? Are we clear about where our limits are, and do we stick to them? Sometimes, we might find ourselves agreeing to do things more, because we feel we have to, not because we really want to. It's important to understand why that happens. Now, I'm inviting you to take a small but significant step towards finding a better balance in being kind. This could be different for each one of us. Maybe for you, it means learning to say no when you're already stretched too thin. Or perhaps it's about finally taking that day off. You've been dreaming about just to relax and do nothing. Or it could be time to have that tough conversation you've been avoiding, not out of fear, but with the intention of clearing the air and moving forward. Whatever it is, let this action be your commitment to practicing kindness in a way that's true to you and balances giving with receiving. So we get ready to go our separate ways. I want to share a thought that I hope you'll keep close to your heart. True kindness is a powerful force, not a sign of weakness. It's about having the courage and wisdom to act with genuine care and respect, both for others and ourselves. Let this thought light your path, reminding you that the most impactful acts of kindness are those that come from a place of sincerity and thoughtful consideration. Our aim should be to use our kindness to illuminate the way, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us, creating a world that's warmer and more understanding. Remember the stories of Mark, Sarah, and Thomas that we talked about. Each of them showed us different facets of kindness. Mark's story taught us about the joy that comes from bringing people together through acts of kindness. Sarah's experience highlighted the importance of setting boundaries and taking care of ourselves so that we can keep being kind to others without feeling overwhelmed. And from Thomas, we learned that being kind doesn't mean shying away from tough choices. It means making those choices with compassion and integrity. As you move forward, carry these lessons with you. Embrace kindness not just as something you do, but as a part of who you are. Let it be a guiding principle that shapes your actions and interactions, one that honors both your needs and those of others. Steer this way, kindness becomes more than just a gesture. It's a way of life that uplifts everyone involved. To make a commitment today, to spread kindness with awareness, intention, and bravery. To remember that every act of kindness, no matter how small, can make a big difference. And to approach each day with an open heart, ready to give and receive kindness in equal measure. This is how we create ripples of positivity that can transform our world. So as you go about your day, think about the small ways you can show kindness to yourself and others. Maybe it's taking a moment to listen to a friend with your full attention, offering a helping hand without being asked, or simply giving yourself permission to take a break when you need it. These actions might seem small, but together, they weave a tapestry of kindness that can cover the world. And if you ever find yourself wondering whether your kindness makes a difference, remember that every act of kindness sends out ripples that reach far beyond what we can see. It's in these moments of connection and care that we find our shared humanity, reminding us that we're all in this together. So, let's promise to move forward with kindness as our compass, guiding us to act with compassion, empathy, and understanding. Let's be brave in our kindness, using it to bridge gaps, heal wounds, and bring light to the darkest of places. Together, we can make kindness a force that changes the world, one act at a time,